Hello, everyone. This is Christine Matus from the Matus Law Group. We are estate planning attorneys. We protect assets for families, especially those with special needs children, so that they could have a lifestyle they deserve. We have a special guest with us today. As some of you may know, we always like to bring in value and talk to people in different industries who could help our families, give them great advice, and just add value to whatever is going on in their life. And so it's my pleasure here to introduce Yaakov Berman, who works with Lee Nolan and Corrigan LLC, a member of the Mass Mutual Financial Group, and works with many local families in preparing for financial hurdles down the road. You know, one financial hurdle that many people are very concerned about is the rising cost of care as they age. So, Yaakov, thank you for being on the show. And I guess my first question is, why are people so concerned with this?
Thank you, Christine, for inviting me. I was looking forward to our conversation. So as to your question, when you drive around Ocean County, it's striking how many beautiful senior developments are sprouting up everywhere. With advances in medicine and life expectancy on the rise, people are really investing in enjoying quality of life in their golden years. But with that expanded life expectancy comes a greater chance of needing care at some point. Being that people are making great investments into enjoying their senior years, it's important to protect that quality of life. Also, anyone who's ever been involved in caring for an aging parent are well aware of the associated cost. Proper preparation can take much of the burden off your children, who may also be caring for your grandchildren. Being financially prepared to address these costs will also provide more options from where to receive the care, which can also improve the quality of the care.
Thank you. So, Yaakov, at what age do people begin having this conversation?
So a lot of people look at this from early 50s when they start taking a hard look at retirement. Being that the cost of care is probably the single greatest threat to a retirement account, it should be an essential component of retirement planning. But as there are various ways of addressing this, people who are particularly concerned with associated costs may wish to begin earlier.
Oh boy, yep. So, Yaakov, does everyone need to do long-term care planning?
Well, Christine, it's an important conversation for anyone to have. It's a quality of life decision that everyone deserves to make on their own, and it's important to get all the information before deciding what is right for you. There are specific needs when it comes to protecting assets or in the event of a special needs situation, but it's mainly about preserving quality of life for as long as possible.
You said needs. What are the specific needs you mentioned?
Well, in the case of someone who has substantial assets, you might want those assets protected from going towards the cost of care, and transferring them may not be what you want to do. In the case of a special needs situation, you may have a strategy in place of how you can fund the special needs child, but of course you wouldn't want the cost of your care taking away from what is designated for that child.
Absolutely. And, that's the focus of a lot of things that we do at our firm. So that's great information. I was hoping you can help us, Medicaid, Medicare, what is covered with that? That's a big question that we have.
Right. So after a 3-day hospital stay, Medicare will cover the first 20 days in a skilled nursing care facility completely. For the next 80 days, it will cover all but $157.50 per day. And after 100 days, it won't cover anything. Medicaid will only cover care for someone with an acute illness, which are usually short-term. Conditions such as arthritis and Alzheimer's are not covered. You can become eligible by spending down all but $2,000 worth of assets. But proper planning can delay entirely or at least put off making that choice.
And, when you hear long-term care, these are the things that we like to talk about because they're important. But, what are some of the costs related to long-term care?
Okay, so according to Genworth, who did a study using a specific scenario, the median monthly cost in our area for homemaker services is north of $4,000 monthly, a private room in an assisted living facility north of $5,000, and a semi-private room in a nursing facility is north of $10,000 monthly. According to a study conducted in 2017 by the Bipartisan Policy Center, people who are 65 today can expect to incur $138,000 in long-term care costs. A similar study conducted by Fidelity in 2016 estimates that a couple who would retire that year would need $260,000 to cover healthcare costs in retirement.
Wow. So are those prices you mentioned expected to remain stable, or will they grow with inflation?
Yeah, so as with healthcare in general, you need to factor in inflation, which historically has been between 3 and 5%. Genworth assumes 3% in their projections. So a semi-private room, which today would cost $10,000 monthly, in 20 years would be $18,000, and in 30 years would be over $24,000. That same Fidelity study I mentioned estimated 1 year earlier in 2015 that the amount needed for healthcare was $245,000. That's a 6% increase in just 1 year.
Oh my goodness. Wow. But what is that increase attributed to?
So several factors, but primarily an uptick in utilization of medical services and rising drug costs.
Uh, and are there other factors you see that could affect the cost of healthcare in the future?
Excellent question. Another factor to consider is as life expectancy is on the rise and baby boomers begin to age, the demand for care will rise dramatically, which can definitely affect the cost. Keep in mind, in 2010, 40 million Americans were age 65 or older. By 2050, that number is expected to jump to 88 million. The number of people 85 and older is also predicted to jump dramatically. This is the frail elderly group, most likely to need long-term care. In 2010, there were 5.5 million of these older people, but by 2050, there will likely be 19 million.
Oh my goodness. So, what are the chances of needing care prior to reaching an advanced age, Yaakov?
So according to the Robert Wood Johnson Foundation, 43% of those needing care are under 65.
Oh my gosh. And when, needing care, what is considered needing care?
There may be different specific qualifications, but the general definition is when a person, as a result of illness or disability, is unable to perform basic daily tasks.
Oh, now, I'm curious, in your experience, what are common objections that you hear, when trying to do proper long-term care planning?
So many people are simply scared away by the cost. Others are under misconception that their health insurance has provisions for care. And again, while it's true that Medicare does cover many health-related expenses in retirement, long-term care costs are generally not. Some people are afraid of what it may cost them to prepare, and while it can be costly, not being prepared can cost a whole lot more.
Ugh. And, so what else is important to discuss in such a conversation, Yaakov?
Okay, well, Christine, it's a great opportunity to have a look at estate planning, which you know better than I do can be very complicated. It involves making sure you have a proper will in place, as well as a healthcare proxy and other legal documents. There may be trusts that need to be reviewed or drafted, as well as a review of any life insurance coverage. It's important to make sure all beneficiaries are up to date as well.
Yeah, wow. I mean, it does sound a lot, so for people, how do they get all this done?
Well, it's important to work with a financial professional and a good attorney such as yourself who can help them navigate through these important decisions. There's a great guide called What My Loved Ones Need to Know that is available. I believe I sent a number of copies to your office, which clients can use on their own or together with a financial professional. I would be happy to provide a copy to anyone who would like, free of charge.
Oh, that's awesome, Yaakov. That's great. How will they be able to contact you? How will people who are listening to this can contact you and ask for this information that you just mentioned?
Yeah, sure. So best way is to shoot me an email at yberman, that's YBERMAN, at financialguide.com. Or they can contact me by phone, that's 848-240-4332.
Fantastic. This was a lot of information, Yaakov, but great information. Again, thank you so much for your time. As estate planning attorneys like us, we're always looking to provide useful information to our clients and other people who may need it. And you really did that. And we're so appreciative of your time and your expertise. I mean, you really did a great job and we appreciate that. So again, everyone, we're here doing a wonderful podcast with Yaakov Berman. Again, Yaakov works with Lee, Nolan, and Corrigan, LLC, a member of the Mass Mutual Financial Group. Yaakov had given you his email, so please reach out. He's a great resource, and you don't want to miss out on this important information. Yaakov, thank you so very, very much. And again, this is Christine Matus from the Matus Law Group. Again, we protect assets for our families. We provide unique solutions for our unique families, and you can always reach us at 732-281-0060 with offices located in Toms River and Red Bank, New Jersey. Thank you so much.
Just quick disclosure. Mass Mutual Financial Group is a marketing name for Mass Mutual Life Insurance Company and its affiliated companies and sales representatives. Estate planning services are provided working in conjunction with your estate planning attorney, tax attorney, and/or CPA. Consult them for specific advice on legal and tax matters.